You've got to stay tuned to see this. This is the 𝚑𝚑 truck camper. This is the 𝚃𝚑𝚎 by New Camp. You're going to need kind of a big truck for this in order to put this on. Weight's a little bit over 3,200 pounds. Right up in the front here, this is where you have your 2 LP tanks. Has a little vent going out the bottom as well as here. Your tie downs, as you can see right here, so you make sure that you get the proper tie downs for your truck. LP connector, that way there you go ahead and cook on the off-door side here. Well, I say the off-door side because that's just what I'm used to saying on things. So this is the driver's side of your camper. 110 hookup. This is also going to be your sewer connection on this side. Notice how it has a light inside here. You're going to have another little storage bin right here. Again, notice the sensor light. Now the bottom one here, this one doesn't have a sensor light. What you've got to do is you turn the red switch on. That's going to be there. The other switch above there, that is going to be for your water pump. And you can see, I love the way they do this Nautilus system because it's all very easy to read. The one most important thing that you must remember is before you start changing these dials here, make sure there is no pressure on your city water hose at all. So what you'd want to do is, if you've already hooked up and now you want to fill your freshwater tank because you're leaving, shut the water hose off and then open either your low point drains or open up the faucet here. You'll have there's a hose that goes on that. I'll show you when we get inside for an outside shower. Get the pressure off the system before you change that. This also has your black tank rinse. Here's your low point drains down bottom here, which I was talking about, and then your black and gray tank pulls. Now, something highly recommend, folks, is if you're bringing your water hose and cable up through there, get yourself some brass wool to keep critters from coming up through there. Put it there when you're not even using it as well. So that is the off-door side, as I would say. Now in truck campers, obviously the door side is on the back, but on your, this is your party side, if you want to call it that. You're going to have your awning. You see you have your nice little awning light. Nice thing with that, that's going to come out with the awning. It is a power awning, so you don't have to worry about like it used to be where it was the manual awning. Now it does have a manual override. Power tongue jacks, you're going to have two different ways of operating those. One is going to be remote, and then the other one is where you're going to be plugging in. One other little box here on this side, another little storage bin. This is for the auto system. That's where the heat's going to be coming out. The exhaust, that is. 110 outlet. Now you do have a ladder to get on the roof. Let me show you what the roof looks like. So as you can see, you have some bars up here, so you can put some storage up here if you wanted to. It does have the solar panel on here. Power vent fan that you're going to have, the vent for the bathroom, as well as vents for your tanks, antenna as well, and then your AC. It is a walkable roof. Just don't go past a certain point up in the front. You will see what where that tells you up there. So a couple other things that are on the back is you do have the yellow light that's up top, but then you also have a light switch inside the door right there at the bottom that turns on a light switch, as you can see right here. So you're actually going to be able to see where your steps are. Same type of door that you have in your Tab 400, Tab 320s. One thing you want to be careful of when you're coming out, if you're in the habit of pushing this up and closing the door, understand you better have your key with you because you just locked yourself out. Fire extinguisher will go there. This could be a little trash can. You do have your privacy shade for the window, two other storage bins there. And lastly, of course, the screen, right? So again, I mentioned that was for the light at the step. This is where you would either, you got to turn this on in order to use the jacks, the remotes, but you have one that's hardwired, and then you have a remote one as well. Just make sure that you turn it on, otherwise you will not be able to use them. Next, you have your awning light here. There's a camera. You're going to turn that on. That turns on the 12 volt, so you can actually use that in the truck. And then your door light, which is right up top here. So let's get up inside here. As you can see, this is your wet bath. You've got the light. By the way, the light button is right up here. You can turn it on or turn it off. This handle pushes up, and then you're able to turn on. That's a fan for that bathroom. You also have a little vent right there that vents to the inside. And then lastly, of course, you have your shower door there. This is a heated room. Of course, you can see you're going to keep your toilet paper nice and dry. You've got a sink, place for you to put your toothbrushes, your towels, hand towels, medicine cabinet, and there's another little hanger port in here. So that is the shower. Now, looking as you come in the door, you do have a nice big storage. Notice how the light comes on. You're able to see inside here. That's where the camera is, by the way. This is where it's showing the weight. It's actually 3,244 pounds maximum when it contains standard equipment, your water, LP, ice, rear awning, and so forth. So that's in there. I like how these cabinet doors do lock. That's gonna be your camera that goes in the truck, your wire and stuff for your remote for the jacks. 12 volt connector. This is the 𝚘𝚘𝚜 system. Now the 𝚘𝚘𝚜 system, for those of you who don't know, that handles your heat as well as your hot water. It runs off of both propane and electric. Now you can use one or the other or both. You'd use both when you want to go ahead and get it hot the quickest. Now the other switches here, of course, you have checking your gray, black, and fresh tank. Turn your water pump on here. You have a ceiling light. Now you notice there's no ceiling light that came on. But if you don't turn that switch on, you will not be able to turn this light on. See it blue, then you have one light, two lights, there's your brightest. So without that switch on, that light will not work. Next, you have a sink light, which is going to be up above on the bottom of the cabinet, and then your accent lights, which are going to be over here, as you see. That is for down in this area. Now, also in the kitchen, look at how deep that sink is. I mean, I'm almost down to my elbow as far as the depth. I don't have my tape measure on here. By the way, I know some people might be saying, oh, Paul, where does the heat come out? And that is a great question. By the way, I'll be going to the plant to do some plant tours to give you a better insight on what's behind these cabinets and so forth. But this is where the heat is coming up from the 𝚘𝚘𝚜 system there. You have heat that's coming out through there. You have heat that's coming out above there. You saw the heat in the bathroom, and back on the bed, you're going to have it coming all around up in the bed area as well. 110 outlet here, 2-burner cooktop. By the way, on this thing here, if you ever put it all the way up, be sure, and it says it right there, lift this up to pull it down, otherwise you will bend those hinges. Your convection microwave, storage underneath the sink. I like how they come up with this new contraption for a P-trap, making it easier, giving you more space under your sink, by the way. That's your LP CO2 detector. Over here, this is where you turn your battery disconnect on and off. Now, right now, I'm running on battery for the lights and so forth, so that's why I'll have it on. Breakers and fuses. By the way, this is an auto detect, and what that means, and that's for the converter, so forth. The reason for that is you can choose lead acid batteries, AGM, lithium. This thing will automatically detect what battery it is. Old style did not have that. Some of them had a switch on the back you had to get to. Now for the lithium batteries, it's going to have battery heat, and the reason for that, in cold climate, if the battery gets down below 38 degrees, it will not charge. And then of course, you have your button to turn on your inverter. In the event that you're boondocking, you're able to use your battery power to operate a couple of different outlets and the TV and so forth. So storage underneath your dinette. See, they even have storage under there. There's where the batteries are located. I don't know if you can see that okay, but makes it a little bit easier to get to. And on this side, and this is where the 𝚘𝚘𝚎 system is, and that's mainly for maintenance. You won't actually be doing anything for that. By the way, one thing I didn't show you was in this cabinet, that is where you check your 𝚘𝚘𝚎 level. That's where it would be serviced and so forth. Now the dinette booth does break down to a bed. You could adjust the height on that table. So you can have it higher or lower depending on what you want. Then the table goes down, cushions go in the middle, and you got a pretty good sized bed there. Little something to hang there, storage up above. And as you come up in the bedroom, notice how they have a couple steps for you. They have one here, they've got one there. Storage. Before we get up there, let's open up this refrigerator. Refrigerator freezer, and I like the fact that that's a magnetically held in place lid there. Makes it nice and easy for you to be able to reach in if you only have one hand. By the way, that's called an ice maker. Like that they provide that with you. Lastly, for the storage in the kitchen area is the storage up above the refrigerator. Now let's get up in the bedroom. As you come up in the bedroom, right here, this is the button to turn the lights on. They're in the back, they're on top here, and on top there. So storage all around everywhere here. This is an actual queen bed, meaning it's 60 inches wide by 80 inches long. Now the other thing they do, they use the Froley system for additional support. You will notice that it's going to make it much more comfortable. But the other benefit is now you have all this airflow underneath the mattress. It's not trapping moisture. Now for all the windows, and I'm not gonna be able to get up there to do that, but well, I can, but see the screen pulls down from the top, and on the bottom it is your that is your privacy shade. Now these just unlock. You unlock each of these, and then the door, this window can open and it will latch out there. Now in the event that you want to run your power vent fan, what you're able to do is lock these not in all the way. That way they're at least letting air come through if you were running that, but maybe you were worried about somebody getting in your camper at night while you're sleeping. You could always do it that way. Now these are heavily tinted windows. They're not the clear, which makes it a little bit nicer as well. Stereo speakers up here. There's your stereo. And then of course the TV. The TV does pull out, so you're able to swivel that around so you can see it from at least one side of the dinette. Now, because the light's up top there, now you're able to see what is on the inside of the cabinets. And then of course, all of these are going to be storage. And you can see it's rather long, so it runs the whole length there, little cubbies. And then reading lights, or they could be blue lights that are at the head of the bed. So this is the 820 Cirrus truck camper by New Camp. What are your thoughts? You liking it? Like I say, stay tuned. I'm going up to the factory. I'm going to show you again how these things are constructed, and we'll see what maybe is different than the last time. You can always search New Camp factory tour on my channel for the other times I've been up there, but very excited about getting up there. I appreciate you watching. Please do like, comment, and share this video. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel. I'll be back again soon. Take care.